Hi guys, it's Daniel with the Aloha Academy, and this is the right video for you if you want once and for all end the struggle with your E major chord. Yes, I'm talking about that one. Before we get started, let me just say a few things of importance. The first thing is, no, you can't replace an E major chord with an E7 chord. This is one of the most frequently asked questions of my students, and I also read it on the internet all the time and all the Facebook groups and on Reddit and I don't know, everywhere. Hey, I've got problems with the E major chord. What can I do? Can I replace it with an E7? Or actually there are a few guys who think, yes, it's okay to do this. No, it's not. You mustn't replace an E major chord with an E7 chord unless you really know what you are doing. This means you know your harmony stuff. You know you are in the key of A and you are on the functioning 5 chord and you want to create some tension and you want to go back to the A major. Then it's okay. If you don't know what I'm talking about, and this was just blah blah for you, no, don't do it. Please do yourself a favor, because the E7 chord has a special tone and notes in it that might interfere with the melody, and the chances that it sounds really crappy, but just substituting it are really high. So no, you mustn't do it. The second thing is, no, there is no easy workaround. I'm sorry to tell you that. You gotta put some sweat and some effort in it. It's just like that. The open E chord is a bitch. Yeah, just get used to it. Okay, get over with it. Just do it, because there are certainly a lot harder chords than the E major chord. I can tell you that. And once you defeated this little guy, you conquered it, you own the E major chord, you will be proud of yourself, pat yourself on the shoulder, say, yes, I did it. And the third good reason to learn the E major chord is it has a unique sound, and this shape, the shape of the E major chord, can actually be moved around for some cool effects. Okay, sounds nice, doesn't it? But before we get to work, let's put the ukuleles aside. Why is that? Because I believe you can train yourself to do things without even training the actual things you want to do. You just create a vision or an imagination in your head of the movement that you want to do. This is a bit like Zen and the art of playing ukulele, but it's proven actually, scientifically proven that you can train things without actually doing them. Let's do this experiment and stay with me. Okay, so you will see the chord diagram of an E major chord right here. You see, you will need 3 fingers, all in all. You will need the first finger on the first fret of the G string. You will need the second finger on the second fret of the A string, and the beloved pinky on the 4th fret of the C string. Now, just memorize which finger goes where, and let me put the ukulele down. Do the following. Try to make the movement that will be necessary to do the E chord on the fretboard. So you might as well close your eyes actually to see this chord diagram before your eyes. You just take first finger, put it on the imaginary G string. You take the second finger, put it on the second fret of the imaginary A string, and then move your pinky on the 4th fret of the C string. Okay? Now, you got a picture of what you're doing, and this will help you to actually do it on the fretboard. The next thing to do is just lift off your fingers of your imaginary fretboard and do this movement once again with a strong imagination or vision of what you're doing. So it's all the fingers at the same time going on the fretboard. Try to visualize the whole chord diagram in front of you. Okay? This is no hocus pocus, actually. It will work. Next thing to do, pick up your ukulele again. Now, there are two things that I see my students do all the time, and I think it's not helpful to do it the way that they do it. If you first present the E major chord to them, they're going something like this. Oh man, I almost can't reach this C string with my pinky. And they are bending, their wrist like hell. It's like, oh, okay, no, oh no, it sounds crappy. Yeah, of course it sounds crappy because you can't put any pressure on the strings if your wrist is like that, It's not going to work. The way it will work is to have a straight wrist, actually. You need your wrist to be straight so you can really bend your fingers. I hope you can see it from there. Gonna move my hand. That you can really bend your fingers and just use the fingertips of each finger. Okay? So my wrist is straight, and the second important thing is my thumb is supporting the other fingers on the back of the neck. You don't want to do it like this. Okay? You just want to put your thumb against the neck, leave your wrist straight, and then really bend your fingers. Work your fingers. Try to move to the inside. Oh, can you hear that? It's my stomach. You really try to move the inside of the palm towards the neck. Bend your fingers so that every finger is really using the tip. If you do it like this or this, it won't sound good because you have the open E string in it. So that's all you have to do. Watch your wrist and watch your fingers. Bend them. It's like a curve. Can you see it? Oh, no, to do it like that. Can you see that? All my fingers are curved. Now, once again, we just try to imagine how we are fretting the actual E major chord. Now we're doing it. Guess you already tried it. But what the heck? Let's start together again. Put your thumb on the back of the neck, leave your wrist straight, and try to put all the fingers over the frets that you will use them in. Okay, so you're just hovering over the strings. Hovering over? Yeah, I hope that makes sense. So you're not actually putting down your fingers yet. You're just hovering above the strings. So this, the first finger is over the G string, the middle finger is over the A string, and the pinky is over the C string. And this will be really hard. You may be not able to do it like I do, okay, just immediately. But you can train that. This is total finger control. You want to be in control of what you're doing. So once you positioned your fingers, you just press down the whole chord and check if all the strings are sounding the way they are supposed to sound. Again, my wrist straight, my thumb is supporting the other fingers on the back of the neck. Okay, now you want to try and just lift off the whole chord, but don't move your fingers too far away from the fretboard. Just stay in the position of the chord and press it down again. Check again if all the strings are sounding the way they're supposed to. If they are not, try to reposition the finger or fingers that need to be fixed, and then do this movement all over again. Do it for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 100 times. Try to stay relaxed. Lift your fingers, stay in the position of the E chord, press down the E chord again. This is what you need to do to build muscle memory. It's not about talent or I don't know. There are a lot of thoughts in the internet why you can't or cannot do a E major chord. Like, my fingers are too chubby. Okay, seldomly I've seen that chubby fingers, that it was a real problem to execute an E chord. Most of the time they weren't just put on the fretboard in a curve. They were just like that, okay? So really do bend your fingers so that your fingertips are doing the chord. And that's it. This is the most important thing. Keep your wrists straight, support the fingers with your thumb on the back of the neck, and bend your fingers. Take it slow. You will maybe have the problem at first that you can't put all the fingers on the fretboard at the same time. So try to determine which finger goes first and which last. So try to determine the order the fingers go on the fretboard. Most of the time it will probably be first finger, second finger, fourth finger. If you see that with your fingers, try to turn the whole thing around. Try to start with the pinky, then the second finger, and put the first finger on last. So you just turn the whole thing around. If you do it for a certain amount of time, you will see that minus and minus equals plus for somehow. So you just erase this order with that, and you are able to execute the E chord with all the fingers at the same time. Okay, so those are the main things that you can do to really get hold of that bitchy E chord. And take your time, swear a lot, do it loud, but know that it's worth it. Just do it, okay? Then there are, of course, some other chords, some other voicings, not chords, it's the same chord, it's a different voicing. That means the notes that belong to the chord are presented in a different order. It's basically the same chord, the name is the same, it just sounds different, okay? That's all. So let me tell you about the voicings that you could also use instead of the open E chord. Just be aware of the fact they sound differently. This open E chord has a very unique sound. Oh, sorry. That the other E chords do not have. But anyway, I'm gonna show those 3 chords to you, and then you will decide which one you will want to use. One of the harder chords, at least for male fingers, is this voicing of the E chord. From G to the A string, it's 4, 4, 4, 2. And you might want to use 3 fingers, the middle, the middle finger, the ring finger, the pinky, and then on the A string, the first finger, or the is even harder to execute, but for some people who are quite bandy or have played a lot, it's also doable. You just do a bar chord over the 4th fret of the G, C, and E string with your ring finger, and the last note here on the A string is played by the index finger. This would be a solution. Again, keep your wrist as straight as possible. Okay, don't do it like that. And with every bar chord, you will want to put your thumb on the back side of the neck to support the other fingers. Okay. Third voicing for the E chord is that you just play your bar as you did before on the 4th fret of the G, C, and E string. Sorry, but you're doing it with your index finger this time, and you're adding your pinky on the 7th fret of the A string. As I said, totally different sound. And the last usable voicing of the E chord is starting in the 9th fret of the G string. So from G to A it's 9, 8, 7, 7. And I'm using my ring, middle, and index finger with a small bar here over the E and A string. Okay, so here are the 4 variations or voicings of the E major chord. The open chord in 2nd position, 4th position, and 7th. Okay, so just stop whining. This is the bottom line. Stop whining, work your E chord, it's worth it. And you always wanted to play that train song, don't ya? I don't know the lyrics, but anyhow, just learn your chords and have fun with it. Okay, don't forget to swear, but have fun with it. And also, if you like what I'm doing here, please don't forget to subscribe, or you might want to leave me a note in the comment section or visit me on Facebook. Okay, see you around next time, and good luck with that E chord. You can do it.